So I've been watching a lot of Christmas romance movies this month. With the days getting shorter and the weather getting colder, I find them comforting in their predictability and their apparent innocence, even in their mediocrity. But my favorite Christmas romance movie has the opposite qualities. It's a melancholy, unpredictable story set in a harsh world, and it's anything but mediocre. I'm talking, of course, about Eastern Promises. If you know the film's director, David Cronenberg, you likely know that he's associated with body horror, strange and gruesome images, movies that push the boundaries of the acceptable. But I think he's one of the more artful film directors working today because he also has such a deft hand with relationships. Small, even wordless moments of intimacy between characters. So I want to take a look at how Cronenberg handles that all-important moment in any Christmas romance movie, when between two strangers, a spark of romantic tension is first kindled. If you haven't seen Eastern Promises, I won't spoil it for you. All you really need to know is that it tells the story of a nurse living in London, Anna, who's drawn into contact with the Russian mafia when she investigates the death of a teenage girl who dies giving birth under her care. In the process, Anna develops an unlikely romantic tension with Nikolai, a driver and criminal operative in the Russian mafia. The scene I want to talk about marks only the second time that Nikolai and Anna interact. There are only 2 setups in this scene and only 10 lines of dialogue. In the screenplay, by the way, there are more than twice as many lines, but the filmmakers have cut things down, kept the scene focused visually and narratively on 2 things and 2 things only: Anna's curiosity and Nikolai's resistance to revealing himself. Notice how Cronenberg positions the characters on opposite sides of the frame, a literal gap between them expressing their figurative distance. Anna doesn't understand Nikolai or his world.
You belong in there, with nice people.
As much as she would like to.
Stay away from people like me.
Cronenberg privileges the audience with this setup because we can see in Mortensen's expressions what Nikolai thinks and feels, but Anna's vantage is less clear. In fact, we can even get a better sense of her perspective by cutting off the half of the frame that shows Nikolai's reactions, what Anna wants to understand. 3 of the 10 lines of dialogue in this scene are devoted to questions that Anna uses to try to get a better sense of Nikolai. And in each case, he keeps his secrets, or subverts her expectations.
Do you think Semyon's son knew her?
I'm driver. I go left, I go right, I go straight ahead, that's it.
I mentioned that there's more dialogue in the script, at least in the September 8th, 2006 draft. There, Nikolai is circumspect to be sure, but also willing to be vulnerable. He reveals that he has children back in Russia, a striking bit of backstory that's absent from the finished film. And he talks about his fondness for Russia, which he uses to distract Anna from her questions, but which reveals something personal about him and his place in the world. They're well-written moments. They work on the page. But it's important to the tension that Cronenberg creates that Anna remains throughout this scene, both literally and figuratively, in the dark. She can't really be seen too well in the back of the car. When we do get her perspective, it's here, in these repeated shots of the back of Nikolai's head, always distanced, always wondering what he thinks and feels. At the same time, we can see, in even brief flashes of Nikolai's expressions, that he has feelings he can't express, thoughts he can't share with her, as much as he might want to. They both want to connect, and as easy as it might be in theory to do so, circumstance keeps them apart. The dramatic force of these shots, what I think makes the scene so effective, is not simply that they express the distance between 2 strangers, but also the tantalizing potential for something more, just out of reach. That the gap between them could be bridged, and something intimate sparked in its place, if only he would turn to face her.
Christmas present.
How thrilling it would be to just make that connection. Merry Christmas, everyone.